I hope everyone had a wonderful Valentine's Day holiday yesterday, and at least where I'm living, it is covered in snow, so I'm all warm and toasty inside and decided why not, let's do another have and have not video. With that being said, I'm going to focus today on David and Maggie. Last week's episode, it looks like Maggie Day finally got her wish, and finally got some from David Harrington. Now the question is this, now that they have done what they did, what's going to happen next? The main thing, everybody's talking about is whether or not Maggie is going to take the morning after pill to prevent any kind of unexpected pregnancy, since, like his son Jeffrey, David had unprotected sex. Now, David said that he would handle it by getting a pill himself to give to Maggie, but she said she would do it. But the question is, will she really do it, or is she trying to play him? Now, based off what we've seen so far, I find it ironic that Maggie wants David, and Landon wants Jeffrey. But the only reason that they ended up in bed together, Jeffrey with Landon and David with Maggie, was because they only did what they did out of anger and aggravation towards Veronica. Remember that Jeffrey told off his mom for the first time during the mid-season finale of season 3. He went to the Sarandon Hotel, had sex with Landon. Last week, David visited Veronica saying, hey, tell me where you live so I can protect you. But as usual, Veronica just jumped on the whole, hey, you're sleeping with Maggie, aren't you? How is it? Let me tell you about my man who David doesn't know is Benny yet. He literally leaves out of there in a rage, goes back to Sarandon and has sex with Maggie. The key difference here is that Landon doesn't really care about being used in terms of, hey, I know you love Wyatt and you only, had sex with me because you're angry at your mother and you tried your best not to say Wyatt, so come back to me whenever you have things straightened out. Maggie, on the other hand, is pretty much, she doesn't care. As long as she has David, she doesn't care if, like David said, hey, I'm sorry, I used you, you deserve better than that. You used me so good, just do it again. And I'm like, okay, Maggie. With that being said, I have to say that was probably one of the better parts of last week's episode. Not the sex scene particularly, but the scene where Maggie bites her lip. Just give me a moment. That was just wow. So attractive, but behind that face, it's just, she's just as cunning, if not more cunning than both Veronica and Candace put together. I'm just wondering what her next move will be, especially the fact that she kept saying that none of her usual tricks have been working on David when she was talking to Landon right before she put the story in the paper about Veronica. So it just makes me wonder how many times in the past has Veronica done this to one of the people she's been running in a campaign. For example, remember she told Veronica that she's not the first overprotective wife she's encountered, and then she told Landon none of her usual tricks were working. So again, it just makes me wonder how many other men or married men has Maggie seduced in the past, and why is she fixated on David all of a sudden? I'm just wondering what exactly is going to play out from that. So, in the holiday of love just passes by, you have to look back at all of David's potential romances. Number one being Jennifer. I really hope that we get some backstory on David and Jennifer in terms of did they have an affair while David was married? Did they meet in law school, but David decided to choose Veronica? I just really hope that we get some background on that. And I just find it ironic because when Jennifer literally jumped or straddled David when they were in the room together, it just reminded me of Celine in terms of that woman has been so bad to you, Veronica. Talking about Veronica, it just reminds me of when Jim and Celine were talking in terms of Celine was there to comfort Jim whenever he was having a rough patch with Catherine. The only thing that threw me off with Jennifer was that I was comparing it in terms of, Jennifer could be the next Celine, but let's hope that her and David don't have any outside kids from David's marriage. That might belong to Maggie now if she doesn't take that pill. Maggie's cunning. I don't know. She might have a kid just to try to even get David on her side even more, considering that he said that his marriage is over. But Maggie, you just can't count her out. So Veronica is still in prison for right now. So I'm wondering what's going to happen when and if she gets out. With that being said, I want to know what you had to say in the comment sections below. What did you think about last week with Maggie and David finally having sex? Since it was unprotected sex, do you think that Maggie really will take that pill, or will she try to bear David's child? And how do you feel about Veronica and all of this when she finally gets out of her situation? Will she go after Jennifer or Maggie? It seems like she's going for Maggie first because she literally outright said she would, but it doesn't appear that she knows anything about Jennifer yet. So I really want to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Who will David choose in the end out of all three? I mean, he said that his marriage is over. Jennifer, there's no clue of him having any attraction to her right now. And Maggie, that's still up in the air. So again, I will see you all in the next video, and hopefully we will enjoy a wonderful show tomorrow night with more questions and, of course, more answers to come.